This is something many of you who keep up with Eureka and Anim already know, but it needs to be said here. I've written a little loose script for myself that you won't see, but I'm reading from, because this is a complicated and difficult thing to say. At the time of recording this, it has been about 8 months since the last session of Muted Swallow was recorded. Past this episode, Faeriedae will no longer be game mastering. Another team member, Ash, will be taking over as game master. The reason for this is Faeriedae, aka Madeline Moore, died in early December of 2025. She took her own life. I really wish I could say this was some kind of isolated incident. I actually wish I could say it didn't happen at all. But neither of those are the reality of the situation. I don't personally know every single detail of the circumstances surrounding this. In fact, I know she deliberately hid some information from me specifically because she knew I would recognize the warning signs. And she didn't really want to be stopped. What I do know for a fact is that discrimination played the largest role in her declining mental health. She was a transsexual. That was her preferred term for it. She actually preferred much less polite terms that I probably couldn't get away with saying on record, even if she'd probably want me to. Hardly anywhere on Earth was a great place to be a transsexual at any point in history, but social, legal, and physical violence and hate against trans women, like my late friend Faeriedae, have been rising sharply in this country for the past 10 or so years since the ruling parties decided they would be the next minority to scapegoat for all our problems. Being cut off at every possible turn from community, legal and social support, and even physical safety is not something anyone could be expected to endure for any significant length of time, nor should anyone have to. This is social murder of innocent people, even if nobody ever literally lays a finger on them. It pretends to be under the name of Christ, but is unchristian. Faeriedae was a Christian woman herself and did not get the Christian support she needed. I thought about having a short section in this, I guess, announcement talking about how we were both Christian and how, and the perversion of the Christian faith, which is the Christian faith to discriminate against whoever people want to discriminate against at the time, which is nothing new. But it occurred to me that, like, just about nobody who's in the audience for this or for this or Eureka is Christian themselves, so it wouldn't really, I mean, y'all are all just about LGBT anyway, so y'all don't need to be told this. But if there is anyone listening who does have any kind of sway in a church, or church Christian community at all, do not stand for this. This is not Christ-like the way that major Christian institutions in this country have historically and presently use the Word of God as a weapon against the meek and innocent. You'd be hard-pressed to convince me that just about anything LGBT related is truly a significant sin based on what evidence, based on what text exists in the actual Bible, especially when considered in its historical context. But even if it was, I'm preaching to the choir, but this is not Christ-like or Christ-honoring behavior. Jesus would not approve of this. And evangelicals worship the devil. If you're listening to this and have any sort of opportunity to materially or socially support trans women or the wider LGBT community, please do not hesitate to do so at any opportunity. Faeriedae lived in Kentucky, Louisville. A couple of Kentucky-based organizations you can donate to, which deal with the rights and protections of LGBT people, have been linked in the description of this video. If you're watching this, please pause the video and donate $1, or, if you can afford more. If you can't afford anything, then spread the word. That's free. I wanted to get all of that out of the way before I talked about anything else. Faeriedae would not want her death to overshadow this project. And one of the reasons we're pushing so hard to complete it, even though it's totally unprofitable, is to have a readily available record of some of our final moments with her. And just generally what it was like to hang out and play, games like Eureka with her, candidly. Because again, Muted Swallow is not in any way scripted or any different from how we play when the camera's off. And you can probably guess that with the amount of tangents we go on. Speaking of playing games with Faeriedae and her as a member of the team, if you have a little bit left over after donating to those organizations in Kentucky, it would also help directly support some LGBT individuals, which is just about everyone involved in Eureka's creation except for me. It would help to, donate and support ANIM, share the, even if you don't pay anything, giving like a 5-star rating on itch.io, or sharing it with your friends, playing the game, talk about it. Patreon subscriptions and purchases on itch.io help a lot, very directly, but word of mouth is the fucking lifeblood of anything, of any small studio. It has taken a while for everyone to be ready to continue with Muted Swallow. That's why there's a recording gap of about 8 months. Well, that's part of the reason why. We also had to finish Murder the Belle Nuit, and other. We had other issues. The meeting's sick and stuff. I don't know how to transition to the next segment. Faeriedae was a good, close friend, and she was great to work with. She's very directly responsible for our mini adventure module to shoot out at Studio 12. That was her idea, and about 85 to 95% of it is just directly her work with me editing it. She made all the maps and all the little characters and all the graphics. Obviously, you've seen her being a great and very fun game master in this series so far. If I just kept going with positive things I have to say about her, I could make this segment run for probably like half hour or an hour longer. But I'm kind of doubtful that there won't be variously positive things said about her candidly in recordings of future sessions of Muted Swallow. I don't know how many sessions we have left because, again, I haven't read the module because I'm a player. But after this segment is over, you'll get the real episode 13 of Muted Swallow, picking up exactly where we left off, except with 8 months of hindsight for a fixed up and better improved version of the rulebook and better practices for recorded play. We're gonna really try to be better about explaining the rules that are in use at any given time, even if they're not things that are directly interacting. A lot of Eureka traits are if this doesn't happen, then a composure roll needs to be made. Like Yvette, if she doesn't ask to come in and just intrudes without asking permission in somebody's house, then she has to make a composure roll. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is easy to not mention, and then people who don't know all the Eureka vampire rules don't know it's happening. And this probably won't be our last recorded playthrough of anything like this, because we would like to try again from the beginning and be better about that for learning the game, a better resource for learning the game on top of just being entertaining. When we continue Muted Swallow, we will also generally be better about... One thing we were pretty bad about in the first several sessions was we did not call for nearly enough interpersonal skill checks. And that definitely allowed Yvette and Byrne to slide by a little easier with being fucking weird and still getting people to cooperate with them. We're going to be better about that. We actually, in the 8 months since, we have updated the Eureka rules to have much better codified guidelines / rules for when an interpersonal skill check is supposed to be called for. Particularly often based on how weird the investigators are being to an NPC. So you'll get to see that. Look forward to probably people getting a lot more easily pissed off and unnerved at Yvette especially when we pick up where we left off. So we will be picking up where we left off I'm sorry, this is all a little bit hard to talk about. Not that I've needed a death to make me ramble and tangent before. We will be picking up exactly where we left off. I talk a lot about how good of an idea it is to use a robust adventure module when playing any game that has a robust adventure module that doesn't, run against the rules themselves. But I did not think that I would ever really need to say that another thing they're good for is allowing you to pick up exactly where you left off with another game master if your first game master fucking dies. She would have wanted me to say something like that. She had a macabre sense of humor and even said on record that in the event of her death that we should, quote, play with her corpse. What she means by that is she doesn't want us to consider her or her voice recordings or her work or even her death to be too sacred to ever touch or laugh about or talk flippantly about. She wouldn't want us to change the tone of the way we talk about her or play this game. She would have also thought it was hilarious that one of our last conversations before her death was like a 15-minute long recorded tangent about Yvette's panties. Thank you, Faeriedae, for being a good friend, especially through the sickness that took over my life in the latter half of 2025. For being there for me to ask any question about, transgender shit that, I had no exposure to, or I had no organic exposure to, and but that affects so many of my friends in some way or another, and for being a creative and productive teammate before you killed yourself. I hope God isn't putting you too much through the metaphorical ringer about it. I'll pray for you. I speak for everyone on the team knowing they feel the same way. We all miss you. I'm always saying, I wish Faeriedae was here. Whenever some shit comes up that I know you'd be able to fucking help with. Okay, I'm signing off on this. This is being recorded separately from the actual episode itself because I didn't want to cry like I am and then go straight into recording the session. So I'm glad I did that. So I'm glad I did that. Okay, I'm signing this off. I'm sorry to have dropped this on everybody before the next episode of our thing, but it needed to be said. And the next part of the video is going to be the actual gameplay of episode 13, which has not been recorded yet, but will be recorded by the time you watch this video. I am I am so excited to get back to playing Eureka.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I was so excited that uh, I was so excited for today that I could not fucking sleep.
Oh, dang.
If
Well, I hope that it'll be a good time.
if I seem a little slow today, I'm not feeling terrible, but if I seem a little slow today, um, it's because I couldn't get to sleep until like 5 a.m.
Oh damn, man.
Yeah.
That's late.
Uh,
I'm a little bit on the slow side myself today, just because like it's a little bit of like getting back in the saddle for me as well, and I'm just a little bit tired. But we'll get this going. It'll be fine. It's a good place to get back into it because there's only one character to focus on and think about.
Yes. And
so,
this is also supposed to be a totally unscripted, unplanned, unrailroaded, theatricized, candid recording of what it's like to just play this game normal. Like we're playing this exactly as we would, except we're going to try and be better about like explaining rules.
Yes, which I think I can be on top of.
And also in real life, fucking frequently you show up late or a little tired to a real normal session.
That's true as well.
Even though I'm going to keep, when I make the editing flags for this video, I'm probably going to keep several sections of our talk up to this point. But
okay,
let's consider the official start to be now.
Okay. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Muted Swallow. It's been a while, but from this point forward, I will be narrating. If you've not heard me before on this channel, my name is Ash. I'm the editor here at Anim, and I'll be trying to carry the torch as best I can from Madeline.
The textbook editor.
Yes.
As opposed to...
Not the video editor.
Yeah. But sorry,
we are back.
I kind of interrupted you. Say it again.
No, that's okay. I just said, but we are back.
No, before that. Carry the torch.
Oh, yes. Just, I wanted to... Hopefully I can carry the torch as best as possible from Madeline and keep things going. There may be some minor inconsistencies that are kind of inevitable as a result of changing narrators midstream, but I will do my best to keep things consistent. Stand by one moment. In any case, last time that we left off, Yvette was about to head out and do some things on her own, but there are a few points of order to address before we can get right into the action.
Yes.
A couple of things that were missed.
Is I wanted to say, like, on record, thank God that we use adventure modules and champion adventure modules.
Yes, there's no way that this could have continued without it, and we did want... It was important to continue this. I wanted to finish this.
Yeah. And thank God we have a piece of media that will make it so that a tabletop RPG dungeon level stage environment, set of characters, story, mission will be like roughly similar.
It's been very useful to have a consistent document to refer to, and to have answers to questions that were not able to be answered.
Yeah.
In the sessions themselves.
And anyone who's watched this far will know there's definitely like loose ends in that, and the whole fucking mystery is a loose end really at this point. If
if there wasn't a document to refer to, this simply wouldn't be able. We wouldn't be able to continue.
Yeah.
But in any case, so Umbral Dame is not here today because this session only involves Yvette going out and doing some things alone. That's a pretty normal thing for Eureka.
Yes.
investigators will just split a lot, and sometimes they will split for long enough that a solo session might be advisable. Which is also, it's a double-edged sword for scheduling, but it can be nice. So,
Yes.
So the points of order mechanically were a couple things that were missed.
Yes.
First was a way back in character creation. It was never actually established. I don't believe that Yvette had access to a hotel room.
Yes, not in her inventory.
Right.
And, real quick, we're gonna try and be a lot better about like going out of our way to explain what rules are happening to the audience.
To call out rules, yeah.
To call out
But
rules.
determining like a hotel room could be done with a wealth roll in session, or it could be done during character creation.
Yeah, so like normally, wealth points, which is derived from the wealth skill, are used in character creation to buy the items that Yvette or any other PC has in their inventory, to determine that like they have those in their inventory for this adventure, or access to them. And one such quote-unquote item is a hotel reservation, which is like prepaid in wealth points on a by-night basis. And if either no wealth points were spent on living arrangements like that, or like it goes on so long in game time that that they run out of prepaid days with wealth points, then each night they must make a wealth roll to keep paying for the hotel room, and we almost definitely forgot to do that.
Yes, it's possible that we'll be contradicted if we went back to the video right now, but we're just gonna go ahead and deal with it in any case.
Yes, leave a comment, like, comment, and subscribe if we actually did leave that. Like, if that actually wasn't a recording.
That would be great. I know you're feeling a little tired today, Cap, so we might go ahead and I can handle some. I think I can handle like going over the mechanics of rules. But of course, feel free to chime in.
That fucking incoherent? Am I like slurring my words?
No, you're not incoherent. I just think that you're a little prone to rambling right now.
Yes, I am. I noticed that really hard myself. That's why I'm making a joke about it. I don't remember.
No big deal.
I don't remember if this was in the recording or not up to this point, but this was partially because I was so excited to play Eureka again, and partially other factors, but I could not get to sleep until like 5 a.m. Last night. Morgan, our Gorgon friend, can vouch for how fucking late I was up because I was texting her about whether or not Samus Aran would rip people's spines out like Sub-Zero.
Awesome.
She knows all about that. She's the expert.
She would know all about that.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense to me. So anyway, we need to make a retroactive wealth roll.
Okay, yes.
You need to make a retroactive wealth roll for Yvette to see if she can afford the hotel room. This is the second night she's had one, right?
Yes, this is because night one we started on night. I actually don't remember. Shit, actually, I can pull this up because Faeriedae,
okay.
I remember definitely specifically wanted to start it on the notes here say tick 1 of night 2 eating a gentrified burger by Faeriedae here.
Awesome.
She's very funny.
Yes, she is.
We are calling this, okay, it is currently what we are calling night 2. making that
So this is
night one.
This is the third clock. Night one was the first clock. Day one.
Yes.
Day one was the
yes
second clock, and now this is the third clock.
yes.
Okay.
And meaning that Yvette will have to make a wealth roll for the first night, which that one maybe she did make. Actually, I'm pretty sure that she did not, but like, leave a comment in the comment section below if I'm forgetting that. Assuming we forgot to make that roll the first time. She has to make a wealth roll for the first night and a wealth roll for the right now.
For tonight.
Yes.
Yes. So it's going to be a moderate hotel room. A moderate hotel room is 2 wealth points per night. So this is a wealth roll with two wealth point item. Okay. The wealth point cost is applied as a penalty to the wealth roll.
Right.
For a 2 wealth point item, it's half of the wealth point cost of the item. So for a 2 wealth point item, it would be a -1 penalty.
Okay. And her, because she is a rich and famous celebrity, whom people are always recognizing, she can't go 10 steps without signing an autograph. As has been seen.
Streamer on a dying stream website.
Anyway, she has wealth +3. She is rich. And you said -1?
It's a -1 penalty.
Okay. The first wealth roll for the retroactive wealth roll for the first night from session 1 is a success at like a 13.
Okay, and then she'll have to make that roll again for night 2.
Okay, with the -1, that makes it a 9, so a partial success.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna say that the easiest way to handle this is a financial stress composure roll. Yeah. There is a message coming through from her bank.
Okay.
That like her account is close to overdrafting.
Is in like she's running out of money, or like this is a
she's spending more than she thought she would.
Yeah.
Maybe. She's spending more than she allocated for this trip.
Yes. Well, let's find out if she's spending that much more than she allocated for this trip. With the financial stress.
It may not be an issue for her, but there's a potential for stress here.
Would you? All right. This is not like a we're talking to the audience question. This is like a candid question. Would you say? And I don't think that this is codified exactly in the rules, but would you say that because it was a partial success, that this is a normal financial stress roll, and a failure would have been with financial stress with exacerbating factor? Or would you say the other way around, where a failure on the wealth roll would have been normal financial stress and a partial success is with a comforting factor?
According to the rules as written, both are just flat, but a failure also means they don't get the item.
Oh, yes. We may make a editing note, because
I'll make a comment to examine that idea.
Yeah, let's examine that. Because we're the writers of the game, every single play of the game that we do also counts as like an intensive playtesting session, and we are constantly realizing, this doesn't exactly perfectly work.
And because I'm the editor, when we get into conversations, it's very easy to slip into an editing mindset.
Yeah. So yes, make a note to check that, because it might make more sense for some items, it might make sense to like put a little note there, like sometimes it would make more sense to make it where like a failure can still get the item, but it's a worse financial stress roll.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Because I think that would make the most sense for like a hotel like this, especially, and this might be based on the wealth skill of the character as well, because like it would not make a lot of sense to say that Yvette is running out of money. I mean, it's not as though she like fucking super stingily hoards it. She's giving away money willy-nilly, but she has a pretty substantial income, and also like kind of gets away with skipping out on a lot of expenses that nickel and dime normal people out of a lot of income, like the fact that she only eats sometimes.
Sure. Regardless, it's going to be a flat financial stress roll in this case.
Okay. 7.
Okay. So presumably this maybe was a little bit more of an expense than she was, bargaining for.
Yes. 1 composure lost for that.
And speaking of composure, that's also the second point of order.
Yes.
Because vampires have a nasal sensitivity to fear. Yes. They are repelled by certain common herbs, especially those noted to be, for medicinal properties, or which are related to each other, like garlic being related to onion. The strong onion at the restaurant earlier should have prompted a composure roll for that. Yes. So let's get a nasal sensitivity composure roll retroactively for her as well.
If Yvette had immediately stopped breathing, she could have skipped this roll, but she totally kept talking, and talking means she kept breathing. Mm-hmm. She does not need to breathe to stay alive. This is a total failure.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. And it's a total failure with a -3 modifier.
Oh dear.
So, she's actually not doing great. When you're rewatching this monthly or annually, just overwrite the footage in your mind with her being like about the onions.
It was a terrible time for her.
Yes.
She hated the onions.
The onions would have it probably wouldn't have like completely altered the trajectory of the scene, but she would have reacted.
Can you tell me her current senses modifier? We'll get into why later.
Yes. Considering the composure, because it is base, it would be a +2. The vampire trait things is the nasal sensitivity, and it's different for every vampire. And because she has such extreme nasal sensitivity on her Tears of Fear, the counter balance to that is that she has extreme nasal sensitivity. She can really smell. Or I should say, because she can smell so strongly, she is so sensitive.
Yes. That is all true.
We need to remember to use truths more, and call for more interpersonal roles and composure roles in general. We definitely, in the Faeriedae sessions, we definitely accidentally skipped on those.
Okay. That was already on my mind.
Yeah. We also did actually much better codify, in the 8 months of working on Eureka since. We did much better codify, like when an interpersonal role should be called for by a game master.
Sorry, I'm reading some things. which will happen a fair bit, as I don't have the fiction totally set in my head yet. Usually that happens for me during the course of narrating a game, but I'm coming in midstream, so there's going to be times where I'm going to have to pause to read.
Yeah.
Even with the refresher that we went through. Okay. All right, I think I am ready. So, when last we left off, Byrne and Yvette had just parted ways. Yeah. And where was Yvette going? She was riding off on her motorcycle, I believe.
I think in the very the last thing of the last session was she was like walking out the hotel room door. I don't remember if Byrne specifically went to bed or not, but
Byrne is in the hotel room.
Byrne is in the hotel room
at the current time.
Yes, Yvette steps outside into the brightly lit hotel hallway that they have and closes the door. She's grinning because sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Man, I know you're distracted, but what is she grinning because of?
I'm being distracted by like external noise in my environment. She's grinning because she has the scent in a metaphorical sense, essentially because this like tragedy is kind of a game to her, even though she does legitimately want to help.
She wants to get a high score.
She's going to win this. She's going to be the one to help. She's going to save the situation. I had made a note of this, that this would be like something I would describe when next the session started, but that note was made like the day after the last session. That was 8 months ago, and would have been better on a full night of sleep. I'm sorry, everyone. Pretend that was better delivered.
It'll be edited regardless, but
yes.
So she goes outside the hotel room and smiles to herself, and then what?
Yes. She's gonna go to the parking lot. She's putting on her.
It's quite late. The hotel lobby is deserted except for a clerk who's just sort of, reading a magazine and tapping, like just got her feet up on the counter.
Okay. That is going to go outside, go to the parking lot, go to her motorcycle, put on her chrome helmet, on her chrome motorcycle, and kick it off and ride off into the night. Her destination.
It's going to be it.
Yes. Her destination is I don't know that they ever necessarily got the address of this morgue, but they did get the phone number of the case, who was handling the case, right?
Okay, so she has a phone number. Did she actually get any paperwork from? I'm trying to remember. Because she got this information from Sally's mother.
Correct. She got the phone number from Sally's mother, and the phone number is the number to call to get the paperwork, which has not been called. Part of the decision, like, for her to go to the morgue is kind of based on everyone in the third session forgetting that they got this phone number, like that Yvette and Byrne got this phone number from Karen and Jong in the second session, like the very beginning of the second session. So like it may not end up being ultimately necessary to go to the morgue, but like, can she go to the morgue? Because she did not explicitly get an address of the morgue. Will she need to look it up?
There's lots of morgues in Vancouver. I don't know which one she would be going to, and I don't think it's been stated which one she would need to go to.
I don't think it has been, but
I mean, the most likely morgue would be the morgue at Vancouver General Hospital.
Yeah. That is most likely. Is it, and like, you can call for a
There's
roll
also
here.
like there's also the police station for this locality, like for this, I don't know if it's called precinct. They're called precincts in Canada, but for this part of the city, would be where like an autopsy report would be likely to be, and stuff like that. That or like a separate office for like a forensic, for forensic files and stuff like that.
Yeah. But, so, and you can call for a roll for this at any point as I start asking these questions. Is it likely that she would, is it likely that Karen Jong, Sally's mother, would have been, like, told exactly where the body is being taken?
I mean, probably, yeah. Like the process is made clear to the family because the body will go to a morgue where it will possibly have an autopsy. Many bodies do not, but in this case, there was one. I believe that was stated.
Yes.
And then after a holding period, the body will be transferred from a morgue to the family's choice of funeral home.
Okay.
So, like, yes, Karen Jong would know which morgue her daughter's body is being held at.
Would that be a text message?
Probably just a text message exchange.
Yes.
To Karen Jong.
Right. At some point during the night, possibly right now, tick 7, or possibly before.
Yes, it is tick 7 of night 2.
Yeah, it sends a text to Karen Jong that goes something like this. What morgue are they keeping the body at? In her unique, old-fashioned way of texting.
Karen Jong replies, "Hello, let me check. Morgue is at Vancouver General Hospital."
But she texts thanks with a black heart emoji.
So it'll be a travel roll
Yeah,
to
so
get there if she is going there.
Travel roll will be... Alright, so with Faeriedae, we decided that this would be a city. So
yes.
Default of 3 ticks.
I'm going to just keep it a city. I have some thoughts as to whether Vancouver qualifies as a metropolis, but I'm actually not set on it. So we're just going to keep it as a city. I think that makes a fine amount of sense.
When we talked about it in between the last session and now, I'm pretty sure that we leaned on it being probably better to rule as a metropolis, but there's also the choice here is whether we want to keep it consistent or want to change it to better.
Well, I mean, there's some question there. Like, Vancouver is not New York. I'd say it's an edge case, and city is fine. Okay. And if that keeps it consistent, then all the better.
Okay. All right. So a travel roll. Base value 3 ticks.
She's on a motorcycle, so it'll be -7 ticks.
Yes. So That is 0 ticks because the roll was a 4 plus 3 from the city and minus 7 from the motorcycle.
Okay. So 0 ticks.
Yeah.
She gets there quickly. But it is a new scene.
Yes.
So it is tick 8 for her. Vancouver General Hospital is a maze of different buildings, units, and complexes. And a whole bunch of side streets and streets with specific traffic rules that don't apply to most of the city. Hospitals and cars are in and out at all hours of the day. And it is no different now. It is bustling, it is brightly lit, and there are people everywhere.
She's considering her options. Is it more of a long shot for her to be able to talk her way in, or for her to try and just fully sneak in?
Is there any information that you as a player need to contextualize that?
Well, we didn't start off using the heat rules.
No, we didn't.
If we were using the heat rules, which are, for a quickest explanation I can give, heat being a optional / situational rule that tracks
For determining the amount of attention that investigators are receiving from law enforcement, which is bad.
Yes, which is bad. Heat going up is bad. We might start using the heat rules if anything happens that would like so significantly raise heat that it would matter, or that the heat rules or that wouldn't have like, or where it would be like in question whether the police would start get involved. Is when we might be using the heat rules.
That's true. Are you wanting to put heat into play or not?
We'll put heat into play if something happens. A player should play it and a character should act as if heat is in play, even if heat is not in play, because heat is just a way for the game master to track how much the police are investigating the investigators. It's not
yes, that's correct. That would attract law enforcement attention even without the heat rules if things go wrong. I'm just asking you as a point of order, are we putting heat rules into effect or not?
We'll
and
do
you
it
say only if it becomes relevant?
Yeah, only if it becomes relevant.
Okay.
I think she will just park her bike, put the helmet there with it, and walk into the hospital to try and get as close to the morgue as she can.
Okay. Is she going in the main entrance or the emergency entrance?
Maybe would this be a, if I ask which one would be the most sensible one to go into here, would it be a medicine roll for her to know which one would be the most sensible one to go into?
Well, I mean, I would tell you player to player, person to person, but like the question you should ask is whether Yvette would know or care.
Well, yeah, that's why I suggested a roll.
Yeah, by all means. Then a medicine roll. Oh, I guess that would like pertain to knowledge of like medical establishments and staff.
Right.
So yeah, it's a medicine roll.
That is a 9, a partial success.
I think that's plenty to know that going in the main entrance is going to be like more appropriate or like likely to get her what she needs quicker.
Okay. Is that going to count for investigation points?
I think that's not an investigation roll. That's a roll made to try and avoid consequences.
Okay. Sure. Then, yeah. She walks in the main entrance. She's wearing her fucking mirrored sunglasses and black leather biker suit, matching high heel boots.
Despite how busy it is, right at the main entrance is actually not terribly busy. There's a couple of people at the desk, and there's a couple of people sitting in chairs, but this isn't a waiting room really. This is more of a directory, as most hospital main lobbies are.
Okay.
So there's elevators, there's hallways leading off into the endless maze of hospital hallways.
Okay. Is there a sign that is like immediately visible to her that says, morgue this way?
There's lots of signs. There's a directory. The morgue is, for the record, I don't have like a layout of Vancouver General Hospital here, so I'm winging this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the morgue is listed as being on the fourth floor.
Okay. Is the fourth floor seemingly accessible, or is she gonna be asked if she has business here?
I guess she wouldn't know unless she knows. I guess with a partial success earlier, she's not just going to be able to waltz into the morgue. If she goes to that floor, no one will question her unless she tries to get access to somewhere she shouldn't be.
Exactly. Yeah. The question I was asking is basically is that floor somewhere she shouldn't be, or could she?
There's multiple things on that floor. No one is going to bother someone walking through the hallways on the fourth floor.
Because there's definitely a. Thankfully, I do not have to go to this fucking hospital anymore. But there is definitely a hospital that I've been to many times for certain appointments where this was just a general practitioner, but his office was in the hospital, where there was a lobby and you couldn't even go in the elevator until you checked in and talked to somebody at the desk. So, all right, she will go to the elevator and press the button for the fourth floor.
Okay. And so she does. She arrives at the fourth floor. There are people bustling around, multiple signs. There's a radiology department on this floor. There's a clinic subcontractor that does blood work in one of the suites on this floor, and then there's a direction to the morgue in that area. Albeit going the other way.
This is something that it is highly doubtful anyone will notice. Her shadow looks headless in this hospital.
Interesting.
She is wearing the thick leather biker suit, which that is the only thing casting a shadow about her right now.
Yeah, given that these are directly overhead fluorescent lights, the shadows are fairly narrow and smudged to begin with, but...
Right. Just if it becomes relevant.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sign that says morgue?
Yeah.
Alright, she's gonna start walking that direction and see how fucking far she can get.
Yeah, there's she's going that way. There's it's a maze of clinic hallways, but she's able to get there. There is a door that leads further back into that part of the facility, and then there's a little reception desk and a waiting area. There is one family sitting in the waiting area, and there is an orderly typing away at a computer who sort of glances up as Yvette walks in and then back to the computer. But the door appears to be locked and has a keycard reader.
Okay.
The door behind the reception desk there.
Yeah. And is there a door to this room?
No, there's no door. It's just kind of it's like a bubble in the hallway. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean. That's what I was asking, because the receptionist might not actually look up, because that is a little weak right now at to composure.
I'm gonna determine if she looks up or not.
Okay, sure. Would you like to?
She does not. She continues to look at her computer.
Yes.
And does not notice Yvette's presence.
I'm going out of my way to reference various vampire trait
The lower vampires get on composure, the more difficult it is to notice them and for them to interact with the world around them broadly.
Yes.
This is mostly a flavor element, though. At very low composure levels, it becomes mechanical.
Yes. I mean, I would say it's still mechanical, but it doesn't become like hard mechanical or dice until like 0 composure.
Sure, that's mostly what I meant. It doesn't necessarily interact with dice until low levels.
Right.
In any case, she has not been noticed, but this is where she finds herself.
Can she look up and see if there are like tons of security cameras around?
There is one. It's not like tons of them, but there is one. There is one camera up in the corner of the room. It's under a bubble, so it's hard to tell where it's pointing. It's under like one of those black bubbles. I'd say Yvette, with her vision, could probably tell. It's not like it's completely opaque, the bubble. Like, she can probably tell that the camera has a view of both the desk itself and the door that leads further into this department.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know the answer to this, but I'm asking anyway. Is it a digital camera?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It appears to be.
Yeah, because that would make a difference as to whether it would be picking up her at all.
Yes. This is 2026, so.
Yeah.
Or 2025, I suppose.
Yes, but it's July of 2025, and right now in the real world, as we're playing, it is July of 2026.
Yeah. Either way, it is a time where this would be a digital camera.
Yes, it's a digital camera, so
as she's facing this little area, there's a small selection of seats to her left, and to her right there is a reception desk that wraps around. It's like an L-shaped desk. Behind it is a single orderly. The camera is situated to her left, closer to her side of the area, and is pointed at the desk and at the door. So it's pointed diagonally.
And and the door is near.
The door is on the opposite side of the room, or of this section, this little bubble in the hallway that Yvette is standing.
It's near the seats.
It is closer to the desk, but it is almost in the dead center of the room.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure I understand that, but it'll.
I will draw you a picture.
I'll ask more questions if it becomes relevant. You can draw a picture, sure. She's going to walk up to the desk, and say salute to the orderly to get their attention, because they're not looking up when she approaches them.
She says what?
Salut, or hello.
Oh, okay. The orderly looks up and says, "Yes, ma'am."
She is facing and going out of her way to face such a way that her back would be to the camera here as she's walking into its
viewpoint.
Yes, into its field of view.
Okay. So it's just her red hair.
Yes. Is this the morgue? I'm looking for a particular body.
Okay. Do you have the deceased's name and date of birth, please?
Does she have the date of birth? She probably does not have the date of birth, unless... Actually, she has Sally Zhang's phone.
Okay.
With her, which has been unlocked. So she has Sally's phone. The thing that I assume would be the procedure here. She probably should have known Alright, so Yvette does not make a habit of going to hospitals.
Right.
Could I make another roll for her to have, like, because this is something that I would have definitely known if I, because I have, I have been going to fucking doctor's appointments constantly for like almost a year now.
Yes, we can address some things retroactively too. It's fine.
Yeah. Can I make a medicine roll for her to have known beforehand to check
that she would need this information?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, medicine or paperwork, I think either is arguable.
Yeah. Thankfully, she's not at 1 composure. It doesn't ultimately make a difference, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is a partial success either way. And I'm assuming, again, no investigation points for this.
No investigation points for this. This is, because this is, again, to avoid consequences and avoid, like, attention.
Okay. Alright, so before she walked up, she would have checked Sally's phone. Would it require a technology roll for her to, like, quickly and easily find that information on Sally's phone? Because
I think she's got plenty of time to, like, dig through various, like, contact details on various social media. I don't think that this is I don't think this is something that, like, requires a technology roll.
Okay.
But yeah, her date of birth is May 23rd, 2001.
Then, all right, when she's asked this question, her answer is, her name is Sally Zhang, and her date of birth is May 23rd, 2001.
Okay, can you spell the last name, Zhang?
J-E-O-N-G.
Okay. All right, I've got her profile up here. What can I do for you, ma'am?
I would like to see her body.
You'd like to see her? Sorry, are you... What's your... I need to... One second. If you're going to be attempting to... If you're going to be let into the morgue, I need to know who you are and what your reason for being here is, so I can document it in the notes here in her file. Are you a doctor?
Does she look like a doctor?
Well, she might not be. She might be in plain clothes.
Yeah, a plainclothes doctor. But you can, like, if you just want to spot them at a sickness or at a wound, you look for the outline of a stethoscope in their pocket.
Shut up. That was funny. It took me a second.
I guess she'll just go for it. She does have overconfident as her truth. If that
Okay.
If that might come into play.
I think she's coming in with very little preparation and no plan, so, like, I think that probably applies.
I feel like we would only apply this if it's like something where it would be, like, questionable as to whether her confidence is correct.
I don't know if that's necessarily the criteria I would use. I mean, I would say that it would apply. Oh, I see what you're saying, because it's overconfident. I mean,
Yes.
I think that it's a scenario where, like, if it's reasonable to state that, like, she's coming in with less preparation than would be reasonable to come in with, that would be a sign of overconfidence. I think it probably applies here.
Well, is it a sign of overconfidence to walk up to the desk and ask for information that you're, like, entitled to? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess keep it in mind.
Yes. She is going to, I am working for our family and friends.
Working for... Ma'am, her family has already identified the body. You'll be able to visit you'll be able to see the body when it is released to the funeral home. It says that the release form has already been arranged. She's going to Gallagher and Co. In the morning. But I can't allow you in the morgue just for visitation. I do apologize if this is. I'm sure that there are emotional, hardships associated with not being able to see her, but it won't be too much longer. Like I said, if you just wait until the morning, we do have an arranged transfer to the funeral home.
I am I would be called a detective.
Are you working with Vancouver PD?
Independent.
Yes, well, ma'am, we don't generally allow access to private investigators either.
Damn.
Her demeanor is definitely a little less warm at that revelation.
I figured it would be. But Yvette is
Although
not.
I don't know if Yvette notices.
No, probably not. This is a matter of an investigation.
Well, an investigation has already been conducted. She's had a forensic autopsy performed on her. And if you don't have official authority to conduct an investigation, I can't do anything to help you.
Alright. Slight long shot here.
Mm-hmm.
A law skill check.
Okay. Paperwork -3 for her.
Yes.
Because that is a write-in skill that is
That
not present that is not present for most investigators, and that she doesn't have either.
If there's anything that she would be able to bring up here that would either A, counteract this statement of information, or B, sound enough like it does to call it into question. I'm making the roll. Come on, you bet. This is with a cumulative -1, this is a 8, a partial success.
A family member might have the right to request to view the body, but she knows that Yvette is not a family member. It's also not clear if that strictly applies to this jurisdiction. She doesn't know off the top of her head, but that's one possible angle.
Also, would that be investigation points or not?
I think that's investigation points. That's meaningfully attempting to make progress towards
through
seeing evidence. Yeah. So 2 investigation points for a partial success.
All right. Here is where overconfident might start to come into this.
Okay.
I am a family mentor.
I thought you said you were working for the family.
What?
Okay, ma'am. Well, what is your relation to the deceased?
What's the most
And
reasonable...
here is where I think we need to call for a roll to see how this goes.
Yeah.
This is a point where the conversation might branch depending on what she says and how confidently she's able to lie. And this is definitely a manipulate roll.
Yes.
I do think that overconfident does apply here.
Let me think for a second if I would want her to spend a Eureka point on this. Because Eureka points can be spent on her personal roles if it was a focus. I think it will actually be a smart idea to use a Eureka point on this. She has a lot of them right now. Anyway, she's going to... Alright, before that roll is made, can she make another law roll?
Okay.
For her to know or be able to guess what's the most believably distant, or hardest to verify relation she could have that would still grant her this right, such as cousin, second cousin, something by marriage.
Yeah, that probably is law. I was gonna say I'm not sure if it is, but it probably is law.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right. So because she has the predictable trait, also this is going to be a plus two instead of a +1 from...
Because the truth is being invoked.
Yes.
But that does apply because truth is to the next 5 rolls.
Yes.
This will be the first of 5. If it is applying here.
Correct. Alright, so law, that would be paperwork -3. So cumulatively -1. Then another +2, making this a 9, partial success. Is this also investigation points?
I mean, yeah, probably with the same reasoning.
Yeah. Then, all right, what's the...
A partial success. I'm trying to think of an appropriate consequence for a partial success on this roll.
I mean, it could... it doesn't have to be a consequence, or a...
Or degree of success. I'm trying to figure out what a partial success meaningfully does here. Yeah. I'd say the quickest thing that she could come up with is like an aunt or uncle.
As in
so
she
an aunt.
Is... She
like
is...
an aunt.
She is Sally Zhang's aunt?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though she does not look much older than Sally Zhang, if she looks older than Sally Zhang at all. But, that'll be the one she goes with.
Okay. So let's get the manipulate roll before she says what she says, just so that can help you figure out, maybe, what she says.
Okay. It is a full success with the Eureka point actually didn't do anything because I rolled the two lowest die with the same number, but it was good to have insurance.
Yeah, definitely.
This adds up to a 10 with her...
with overconfident?
With overconfident, yes.
Look at that truth coming in clutch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she immediately snapped to this, even though she's not a suave or smooth liar ordinarily, and it is totally winging this at this point. At this point she is winging this.
So what does she say? What is your relation to the deceased?
She is my niece.
I see. You really should have led with that, ma'am. There are family visitation rights. I do strongly recommend that you visit her at the funeral home tomorrow. If that is absolutely not an option for you, then you're going to need to have a little bit of patience while I get some information from you. All right, ma'am, can I get your name and reason for visiting, please, just for the record?
Oh, and that would also have been an investigation point, right?
That manipulate roll?
Yeah.
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 So full success is 1 investigation point.
Yes. I just confirm it every time.
Yes.
Partially for the audience. Elise says no.
Okay, ma'am. She just types. She doesn't bother to ask like how that's spelled or anything.
That's probably a good sign.
Okay, ma'am, can I have a look at your ID?
She will unzip her biker suit slightly to reach in and take out her ID.
Okay. She takes like a perfunctory glance at the ID and then looks back at the screen. And your official reason for visitation?
She's already said investigation, right? Like,
She did say that. But the woman has asked regardless.
yeah. She will say personnel examination.
All right. Okay, ma'am. I've put in the visitation request. You are going to have a seat until one of the doctors is available to escort you.
Okay.
All right. They'll call your name. I'll let you know if there's anything else.
She's going to take a step back, but not a far enough step back to not still be in the proximity of the desk.
Okay.
And she's going to stand and wait.
Mm-hmm.
The interpersonal skill check rolls to, and maybe you know this off the top of your head, but that was a adding a d6 to a investigative roll. That is specifically the way it is done for interpersonal skills, rather than the typical Eureka moment rules.
Mm-hmm.
Does that provide a point of composure like Eureka moment does?
Oh, I see. Good question.
I think the answer is no.
I think that is the case, yes.
Because the exact wording is that the focus Eureka point ability can be used on these types of roles, rather than Eureka moment changing the way it works.
Yes.
So this does not grant a extra point of composure like Eureka moment would have.
Yes, it's just focus.
Yeah. Anyway, Yvette stands there and waits.
After a couple of minutes, the lady does like look up, looking kind of annoyed, and say, "The chairs are over there, ma'am."
Yvette nods.
She sighs and goes back to work. A doctor does come out and call a different name, and the family on the chairs is escorted back. And then they leave. I'd say waiting for the doctor will be one more tick.
Okay. So this is actually making it like tick 9 now?
It brings it to tick 9, uh-huh.
Okay.
But eventually, another doctor, she comes out, she's got sort of a tired look on her face, and she blinks at Yvette and calls out, "Cessna?"
without any like wave, nod, or like eye contact, she just starts walking to the door.
Yeah, it's like 2 steps.
Yeah.
Hello.
It is
This way. I see. Right back this way, please.
Wait.
And she's led through a long hallway, and then there are several rooms. At like the 3rd door, she opens it up, and inside is a cluttered but clean morgue. Room in a morgue. There are various, I don't remember what they're called, lockers or something. There are doors to where the bodies are stored.
Yeah.
On the walls.
Yeah.
And there's a computer over there. It's not cold in here, but it's like noticeably a degree or 2 chillier than outside, presumably just because there's so much refrigeration around.
Right. She does not shiver.
Yeah.
Nor does
there's a little gauge. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nor does her breath fog up.
Yes. It's not that cold anyway. There are little gauges above each door that read out the temperature.
Okay.
And the doctor goes over to one of the lockers and opens it up and pulls out the cot with a body bag on it.
Okay.
And unzips it about 1/3 of the way down so that her face is visible.
Okay.
Well, there she is, ma'am.
Is this going to be a corpse composure roll?
I mean, yeah, with a comforting factor for being in a clinical setting.
Yeah.
This is a pretty sterile environment in which to encounter a corpse.
Yeah, and a very expected environment.
Yes. Like she knew she was coming here to see a corpse.
Yeah. And her truth will unfortunately eat a truth. But because it's +2 for where corpse is on her tier of fear, it's +2 for the comforting factor, and it's +2 for her truth bonus. That is actually that does make a difference. It's a 5 + 6 now instead of a 5 + 4, so that does
bring it to a full success instead of a partial.
Yeah.
I do have a picture here.
Okay.
Of Sally Zhang in death.
Okay.
As expected of a corpse, she is quite pale.
Yeah. So is Yvette.
Yes. But her pallor is very bloodless. I suppose Yvette's is too.
So is Yvette's.
Yeah.
Yvette's not looking the greatest right now.
Yeah. The chill reduces the smell, but there's there is a slight unpleasant odor.
Yeah. Not enough for nasal sensitivity, I assume.
No.
Okay. She could probably.
Well, not that would apply for this type of thing.
Not usually. Yeah. No. Like.
That's it's got a specific trigger for vampires, and this is not it.
Although I have considered whether like it should or could trigger on like not normal bad smells, but like
sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's a very faint scent of like cadaverine and sort of what can only be described as like like the smell of a bath, but it's extremely faint.
Yes. Actually, this is a good moment for a senses roll for smell.
Sure.
When you say the scent of a bath, would that actually? All right, this is either a senses roll or a medicine roll. But when you say the scent of a bath, would that be like? Is that a morgue smell, or is that a she died in the bathtub smell?
That is a she died in the bathtub smell.
Okay. Is that with that like is that like then not a roll?
She can detect that much without a roll.
Okay.
It smells faintly of something that is inundated with municipal tap water.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. You just like don't normally smell that on somebody, and then there's always there's also all kinds of cleanliness and like decomposition chemicals involved.
Yes.
She's going to ask the doctor. There was a autopsy, no? Already?
Yes, that's true. Yes, ma'am.
Has the body been cleaned?
Everything's ready for the funeral home.
She kind of stares at her a little bit. Is that a yes?
Yes. She gives her response at length.
Okay.
She's clearly not best pleased at this entire situation.
Well, Yvette doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Would that be a social
I guess
cues
that's
roll?
true. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I keep describing things that would have no idea.
Yeah, you do. But they've been of low consequence so far. Maybe this shouldn't be a social cues roll because that would eat one of her truths.
Sure, I don't know if she would care. Also,
I don't know. This could be the killer. But we'll just chalk that up to like error.
Okay.
Especially because it is inconsequential ultimately.
When dealing with Yvette, I'm going to do my best not to narrate things like that and try to let tone carry it.
Yes.
Just because Yvette doesn't have that on her radar.
Yeah,
like
she does not
basically
have a high enough social cues to have like a passive perception of other people's
like mood. Yeah.
At least not to any like accurate degree. Who has performed the autopsy?
I don't know. The medical examiner. It was a forensic autopsy.
Okay.
It wasn't performed by our staff.
Okay. May I see your whole body?
All right, ma'am. She unzips the body bag all the way. She's nude.
Yeah.
There is an incision in the main trunk of the body.
The torso?
Yeah, the torso.
Okay.
Right under the rib cage.
Yeah. May I touch?
No.
Well, can Yvette see her wrists from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her wrists are up.
Okay. What does Yvette see?
Or actually, they're to the side, but she can see the wrists.
Okay. Yeah. What does she see? On the wrists.
Each wrist has one thin incision line running from where the wrist meets the hand up to about halfway up the forearm, following the same direction as the forearm.
Yeah.
A single incision on each side.
Okay. And this is probably like medicine or close combat. Maybe much more scantily close combat. Actually, wait, before that question, I want to be economical with her last 2 truth bonuses here.
Okay.
Before that question, so back the previous day when she talked to Karen Jong, the mother,
yeah,
she asked Karen if, like, how much blood was in the water, and Karen Jong said that she could see the bottom of the tub.
Yeah.
And Karen Jong also described, like, how much water roughly was in the tub.
Yeah.
And while this would not be something that could be conclusively concluded by either Vern or Yvette, just from a witness description, even though they did examine the tub as well and basically came to the same likely conclusion, their hypothesis at the time was that it did not sound like there was enough blood in that bathtub to bleed to death.
I think that there was a medicine roll made about that.
Yes. Was it a
which seemed to... I don't remember.
Well, it's not written down on this.
I mean, my memory was that it seemed to confirm that it wasn't enough blood.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be something that could be fully confirmed without them seeing. Basically, it confirmed that the witness description did not.
The description suggests that.
Yes.
That there wouldn't have been enough blood for that to be the cause of death.
Right.
By itself.
Yeah. So. That's what the witness description suggests. So that's just the preamble to the actual question / roll here. Does Sally's body look exsanguinated?
That's definitely a medicine roll.
Exsanguinated.
Especially given that it's 2 days post death. That's absolutely a medicine roll. Yeah.
So Yvette does know quite a lot about what exsanguinated people look like, but she doesn't typically hang around the equivalent of her. I was gonna say the equivalent of her fucking candy wrappers, but that's not. She would never think of
people that way.
Even though she eats them. And so that is a medicine +1 with a +2 from truth. And that makes this a 10, a full success. Which is 1 investigation point.
Okay. The body does not look... It's really hard to tell in this state, but a lot of the blood has pooled to the bottom of the body, and the body was in water when recovered. So it's very difficult to tell. But from what Yvette can gather, it looks like there was... I mean, there's some discoloration towards the bottom of the body, enough that there would have to have been blood present to settle.
Yeah.
So this is not an exsanguinated corpse. Whether there was enough blood at time of death left to be to sustain life is, I think, a question that even a full success cannot determine at this stage with a visual inspection.
You said blood is pooled near the bottom of the body. is the bottom of the body in this context the feet or the back?
The back.
Okay. It would seem to indicate that that she was on her
she was
back
lying
or some
supine.
way reclined.
Yes, that the body was
At
that the
time
body
her
was
heart stopped.
supine.
Yeah.
Well, with a full success on medicine, like, no, it just indicates that the body was lying supine post-mortem.
Yeah.
Because the blood pools.
Sorry. I was going to correct myself. That not the time that her heart stopped, but like after her heart stopped.
Yes, yeah.
And for some more information on that, this will use her last truth bonus, but a visual calculus to like just sort of confirm that, like that it looks like the pooling of the blood is like totally consistent with somebody laying in a bathtub.
Again, that was a full success on the medicine roll.
Well,
I think that. What?
This is a different roll.
Okay, this is a roll to determine whether the liver mortis pattern, like,
Yes.
is consistent with the facts thus far.
Yes.
Okay.
Either visual calculus or medicine, but luckily we don't have to like actually.
This is definitely medicine.
Okay. I was gonna say luckily that we wouldn't actually have to determine it because they'd be the same bonus.
Gotcha.
But that is a partial success, a 9.
I mean, yes, it's hard to tell, but like, it's not inconsistent.
Okay. And that is her last
It's
truth bonus.
it's not an especially well-defined liver mortis because she was suspended in water.
Okay.
Is what a partial success would indicate.
Yes. So going back to that, and this might be the same medicine roll that already succeeded, or a new one, depending on your interpretation. But going back to the amount of blood lost and the amount of blood clearly remaining in the body after death, you said it wasn't completely clear whether it was enough to definitely cause death. Does it look like it was enough to cause unconsciousness?
Maybe. That's a question. I'm gonna say that this follows through from the earlier medicine roll because that was pertaining to the amount of blood.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's hard to tell because like there's a lot that's not known about Sally Zhang. Like that would depend on things like her body weight and if she had any other medical conditions that might make her prone to unconsciousness. It's within the realm of possibility. Without seeing like an official report, it's really hard to make that estimate visually.
Okay.
Especially since so little is known about like the specifics of her medical profile.
Okay. Yeah. So like, yeah, because I guess different people would go unconscious at different times for that.
Right.
And Yvette would,
And for different reasons. I mean, some
Yes.
people go unconscious because of pain.
yeah. And
It's
Yvette
it's a very difficult thing to determine.
Yeah, and Yvette would be familiar enough with the fact that different people go unconscious from blood loss at different times.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, given her experience with that, I would say definitively, like, it's impossible to tell based on the information she currently has. Yes. Total toss-up.
Yeah. Then she continues to just like stand at the side of the table, getting pretty close to the body but not touching it. Getting pretty close to Sally but not touching her.
If she gets within like a couple of inches, the doctor will probably say, please back up a little bit.
She's not like nose to skin.
Okay.
But she's definitely like leaning over the table in so much as she can. How high up is the table? That is very short.
The table's about 3 feet up.
Okay. She's like leaning over the table or the shelf.
Okay.
That slides out from the locker.
Yeah.
The previous roll was going to be on the wrist wounds. The canceled roll.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling that now. It is a full success.
Okay.
Is like, are these wrist wounds like? Do they seem to be consistent with a razor blade done up the wrist? Do they seem deep enough to cause significant exsanguination, even though they're definitely long enough and large enough? But yeah.
They look with a full. That's a full success.
Yes.
Okay, and you've been marking down investigation points, right?
Yes, I have. Even when I'm not explicitly asking.
Okay, great. With a full success, on visual inspection, they definitely do seem consistent with a razor blade. The marks are thin and clean enough to have been made with a razor blade.
Okay.
They're not perfectly straight. They are a little bit wibbly wobbly.
Okay.
As if the arm was moving a little, or the draw was a little slow.
Right. Well, that was going to be a follow-up point of interest or question. Is that actually? I guess that would be a point of interest. One that is derived from information that is already derived from a roll. Then continue with the description.
So, as I said, they're not perfectly straight. They are a little bit wobbly, as though the arm was being moved as the cut was happening.
You say like definitely a razor blade, but you mean like definitely a very sharp blade? Like
definitely a thin, sharp blade. It's consistent with a razor blade.
Okay. For the audience at home, that's a pretty important distinction on how to give information from investigation rolls.
Yes. The question asked was, is it consistent with a razor blade? To which the answer is yes.
Yes.
It is consistent with a razor blade.
I can't magically know that it was a razor blade.
Yes.
Anyway, go on. Sorry, go on with the description.
On visual inspection, the wounds seem to be deep, but it's hard to tell. They've closed up. They're not open. There's no scabbing exactly, but like the wounds are closed. They're not like lying open.
And
so hard to tell how deep it was.
Okay. Are they like both roughly the same length? And
roughly, it's not precise, but they both roughly go up to about the mid forearm.
Right. This may be a close combat or medicine, but
the specific role being used may change the tenor of the information given.
Yes, that is true. This is not like strictly a role. I definitely have a habit of calling out what I know the skill is likely to be before I ask the question.
I mean, it's helpful for me as a narrator because it gets me in the right headspace.
Right. If the player was somebody besides the writer of the game, what would be more often happening is that the question would come first, and the game master and or the table as a whole would be determining the correct skill.
Yes.
Okay. So, if the wounds are roughly seemingly the same size, she doesn't have a perfect idea of depth.
Yeah.
But they would have had to. All right. Do the wounds? Are they you said they're wobbly, but do they seem to be following a particular vein, or are they just straight down the wrist?
They're just straight down from the wrist to the middle of the forearm. They're not following a particular vein. That's definitely something that she could get with a visual inspection.
Right, because she is very familiar with the radial artery.
Very precise. Right.
Yeah.
The location isn't very precise. It clips the radial artery, but it's not exactly following the path of it.
Right. The radial artery is the one she likes to drink from.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the time. So, assuming it does not follow the radial artery strictly, that could be a subject of a roll as well. But
what roll?
But not yet.
Okay. Is she done on truth bonuses?
Yeah, she's definitely done on truth bonuses.
Okay.
This might be either medicine or visual calculus, probably medicine again.
Okay.
Does it look like it clipped any tendons?
Can you help me understand why the question is being asked?
Okay. Well, I will let you know that I did roll it and it was a failure. But
okay.
I will still continue that and try and of thought. So
there might be something obvious based on an earlier roll, or there may not be, but tell me anyway.
So, Yvette, this, of course, this was a failure. This is a gap in her medical knowledge, in her anatomical knowledge. But Yvette has been around for enough centuries, and in the past 200 years at least, been in enough violent confrontations to know that when one of your hands is severely injured such that tendons are cut or damaged, it tends to make it very difficult to then perform precise actions on the opposite hand with the injured hand.
Right.
So if Yvette could determine that the tendons are destroyed on one or both of these wounds, then it begs the question: with a completely ruined wrist, how would Sally Zhang have cleanly cut her other wrist?
It's pretty hard to tell whether any tendons are cut, though even with a failure, Yvette is aware that, tendons in the arm run parallel to the cut, so, that's information that she's aware of.
Okay. You know what she also is aware of?
Yeah?
There is a medical professional standing in the room.
That's true.
Excusez-moi.
Yes, ma'am. Your time is just about up.
These cuts.
Yes.
Do they go, if they were deeper cuts, do they go through any tendons which would disable the movement of the fingers if they were cut?
Well, I haven't read the autopsy report personally.
But you know where the tendons lie, no?
trying to determine whether this actually requires an interpersonal roll.
She's being a little pushy.
She
She had to ask a second time. She had to.
But it's also a relatively banal question. I think let's just err on the side of yes.
Okay. She is dressed like a 1990s movie spy.
That's true as well. Let's err on the side of this requires an interpersonal role.
What interpersonal role does it require?
I mean, unless you have a better idea, charm, probably.
It's probably charm. I wish she had that truth bonus.
Yeah.
Is it worth it to call for another focus Eureka point bonus here with a -3?
Well, far be it from me to point out strategic advice, but if she was going to spend a Eureka on this, she may as well spend a Eureka moment on the failed roll.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Which is really not something I would say, except to note that to the audience.
Yeah, no, this will be a plain roll. It has to be very high for her to even get a partial success, because she has -3 charm. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to roll a third die to see if a Eureka point would have saved it.
Okay.
Actually, it would have, because the third die was a 6.
That's funny.
And it was a 6 and a 1 for the original 2, so the 1 would have been dropped in favor of a double 6.
And it would have been boxcars.
But no Eureka point was used,
no dice.
So it is ultimately a 4 and a failure.
Yeah, the doctor just looks down and then back up and says, I really wouldn't care to hazard a guess without looking at the autopsy report.
I'm also going to write down that failed investigation roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Medicine roll failed. Did the cuts on Sally's wrists go through any tendons such that the first cut would render her unable to cleanly make the second cut with her injured hand? And also that failure would be that failure on the charm roll would be +3 investigation points.
Yes. That's correct as well. As would the failed medicine roll earlier. Lots of investigation points even in a scene like this, which is something to note.
Yes. Shit, did I add up the 3? I don't think I actually put the 3 investigation points for the failure of the medicine roll.
Then go ahead and do that.
I don't think I did. I guess I'll watch the footage back. Yeah. But if
it'll be corrected next time if it needs to be.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm actually going to write a note for that. Had investigation points logged twice or not correct if. But assuming that she is still owed 3 investigation points. She has now got another Eureka.
Okay.
I'm clearing the
Once
track.
that's all recorded, what's next?
What else can you tell me that she is seeing on the body? Are there any other significant features? Because there's, the blood pooling, the injured wrist, the look of exsanguination.
I mean, it's a body, right? A body, especially 2 days post-death, is a complex thing. There's a lot of physical features that are present on a human body. I don't know what Yvette is looking for, if anything. There's no other apparent injuries.
This is a long shot, but
I guess there actually is something she asked about that I had thought would get brought up by now. But I imagine it would be on Yvette's mind. Yeah.
I was gonna have her go to the mouth after this.
Okay.
Are there any obvious injuries on her fingers?
No.
Okay. Is there like pruning on her fingers? Because and I may have to look this up. I'm pretty sure that pruning would not happen if she was dead already.
Not sure.
I can also Google that.
Looking this up as well.
They do not. If she was already dead or otherwise significantly nerve damaged when she went into the water, her fingers would not prune.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure that I have the information I need.
Right.
Her fingers look a little bit swollen, but they're not like pruned up. They're not wrinkled.
Okay. What about a medicine roll for what the swelling might tell you that?
Sure.
That is a super turbo fucking failure.
No idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna write that one down as well. Does she appear to have any defensive wounds at all?
Like what?
Like either cuts or scratches or bruises on her, like pretty much anywhere between the elbow to not counting the wrist cuts already, but like on the forearm basically usually. Or the back of the hand.
I'm gonna go with no. There's no apparent wounds in those locations.
Not even bruising.
On an as close a visual inspection as Yvette can do, without touching the body, there does not appear to be any wounds apparent other than the laceration.
Okay. So in this picture, her mouth is closed.
That's true.
Is her mouth closed in the fiction in the world of the game?
Her mouth is maybe a centimeter open.
Okay, is that open enough Yvette does have the ability to see in extremely low light environments.
Yeah. Well, it's if she's looking at the mouth and around the mouth, there is like sort of a dry white foamy substance around her mouth and inside her mouth.
Okay.
Small amounts of it.
Okay. That is what
sort of an off-white foamy substance.
Yeah. That is what she was looking for.
Yeah.
Early on when talking to Karen Jong.
Yes.
It wouldn't hurt to make a medicine roll about this, but because if what I'm about to say Yvette thinks is wrong and the medicine roll is a success, then you could correct me. That's how they would typically work. But Yvette would think that to indicate that when her head went under the water, Sally was still breathing. So she was either like fully conscious or unconscious but not dead. That like kind of foam around the mouth tends to indicate like a drowning.
Yeah.
And that is a failure. Again.
Okay.
Which is 3 investigation points.
Indeed. Anything else? Obviously no information, just for the benefit of the audience.
Okay, I wrote that one down. Until further notice, unless a Eureka point is spent, for her to realize otherwise, with a Eureka moment, Yvette is going to conclude that this means that Sally was breathing when her head went under the water, and that like she inhaled a significant amount of water, which could mean several things actually. Either she was already incapacitated and unconscious and or unconscious from blood loss when her head went under the water, and she died of either drowning or blood loss, or she was otherwise incapacitated before she went under the water and she died of something else, or blood loss or drowning, because they did find that prescription, or that receipt for strong painkillers in the apartment that was purchased like same day. I think it was purchased same day. That could be double checked later. And they weren't like extremely strong painkillers, but there were definitely 2 bottles of painkillers. Both of them had been opened, and this is something that we could definitely double check the footage, or if it just said so plainly in the module. Both of them were open, and one of them had like only a few pills missing, and one of them had like, I think, a lot of pills missing.
I think that's correct.
Yvette does have a failed investigation roll written on her character sheet here. Are 4 of those pills enough to kill someone, is what it says. But anyway, there's a possibility that she was drugged in some way.
Yeah.
And like that made her incapacitated. Of course, there's no evidence that she like drank something or like ate something that was poisoned, meaning that if she was drugged by like a huge amount of painkillers, then they would either be like force fed to her, or she would like be forced to like take them at gunpoint or at knife point or something. Or she voluntarily took the painkillers because she actually did deliberately kill herself and wanted to offset some of the pain of that experience with the painkillers, or otherwise accelerate or execute it with the painkillers.
I just want to be, we're gonna go back. I need to tell you what the medicine was.
Okay.
If it's not already noted.
Okay.
Did Faeriedae give what the medicine was specifically? It was an over-the-counter pain reliever, but did she say anything else?
I'm about 90% sure that she said it was an over-the-counter pain reliever.
It is. So it is acetaminophen with diphenhydramine. Both bottles were.
Okay. And acetaminophen is Tylenol, right?
That's right.
Okay. But with, what was the other chemical?
Diphenhydramine.
Diphenhydramine. And I mean, that would have been on the fucking labels, right? Like, this is...
Yes, of course.
That's
It's
not
right.
something...
It's right.
Yeah.
It's right in big text on the bottle. It's
Okay,
not
okay.
a secret what it is.
Well, could it be a... This probably should not be... We can determine if this would be a retroactive roll or not. But
I mean, it's also listed on the bottle what those are.
Okay. So
the bottle would list it as a pain reliever plus nighttime sleep aid.
Okay, so okay. That is, I mean, that's something like, this definitely wouldn't change any of the actions they would have taken.
Yes, it just, I felt that this was as good a time as any to make it explicitly clear what those were.
Okay, yes. Because I don't think that was, I do not think, like, I'm now 100% sure that it was not explicitly said by Faeriedae that they were sleeping pills.
Yeah. That is what they were. Both were a pain reliever with a little bit of sleep aid.
Okay. Then well, that just supports the idea that she was drugged in some way. Whether she did it to herself or not. Well, Yvette can't confirm that the blood loss was enough to make her go unconscious without any additional medicine or chemicals making her go unconscious. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to write down another little objective note. This is not just for my own remembrance, so that I don't forget for Yvette to remember it. I wrote a note that says, like, they need to follow up on that receipt and ask the store clerk or whoever's working there if Sally bought those painkillers, or if they did not see Sally that day. That would be a pretty fucking lucky break in the case. That would be like, if it was just that easy. I guess let's hope that it is.
This is. I'm biting my tongue here, not because I have knowledge of the module, which obviously I do, but because I know things about how things work as a player that would lead a character I made to have an idea with that. But I'm not stating that.
Yeah. So there's no other immediate obvious. I mean, her eyes appear to be closed in the picture. Is she missing any chunks of hair?
She doesn't appear to be on a visual inspection. At least she's not visibly missing large chunks of hair.
You said there were no cuts or bruises on her fingers. What about her fingernails?
There do not appear to be.
So like, it doesn't look like she's like broken a nail or like.
There are no marks or wounds on her fingernails, although looking closely at the fingernails, Yvette would be able to notice nearby several small indentations on her palm.
Okay.
Not enough to draw blood, it's not a wound, but they're like indentations in the skin.
Okay. Are they shaped like...
They're like crescents, little crescents.
Okay. Are they like 3 to 4 little crescents in like a line?
Yeah, although they're not, they are arranged that way, but there are like several crescents up and down. So it's like 3 crescents, and then like another set of 3 crescents, and another and another, in a line of 4.
I have like a hypothesis. With a like visual calculus roll, which is a partial success of a 7. are these like? Does this look like it was fingernails? Like are these like her fingernails?
Yeah, it's like it does. It
Okay.
looks like her fingernails pressing into her palms.
Okay.
Pressing quite hard, though not enough to draw.
Not enough to break skin. Yeah. All right, this might be a close combat roll. But Yvette is examining the fingernails, and they're examining the fingernails and the indentations on the palm, seemingly that she was like clenching her fist really hard, or something like that. Yvette has been in like struggles with unarmed people who don't really know what to do in a fight, quite a lot. With like a close combat roll, could she like? Is this something that people typically do in like a struggle? And that would be.
What's the result of the close combat roll?
Damn, a freaking failure.
Yeah, hard to say.
It's a 6.
Ma'am, can you hurry it up? I have work to do. I really don't mean to rush you. I understand she's family, but I genuinely, I have a lot of work to do.
You do not need to stand over me this entire time.
Well, actually, yes, I do need to escort you, ma'am. I cannot stop attending to you. That's the rules.
Yvette is going to look at the fingernails again. Is there like anything obvious underneath the fingernails? Is there like are the fingernails dirty in some way? As if she had scratched somebody really hard?
They're pretty clean.
Okay. They were, of course, in a bathtub. Although this might be a visual calculus roll to see if just sitting in a bathtub would be enough to remove such like traces of skin and like blood from the fingernails. Is visual calculus a good skill check for that?
That's probably more along the lines of chemistry, actually.
Okay, sure. Which she's much worse at. And it's a failure. And this is another one I should
Well,
probably...
it's sure is a bounty of investigation points, if nothing else.
Yes. Yeah. She can definitely keep thinking about these and figure some of them out soon after the examination.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I wrote that down. I am not sure. So there's basically nothing else about the body. This it seems as though, and we talked about how this module is not written exactly like an official module would be written, but based on how this scene has gone, I am assuming that the module does not give a significant text description of the body.
Not like a ton of it, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm making it's possible it's somewhere else that I'm not looking. That's why I am.
Yeah.
That's why I am.
Sounds like you're extrapolating.
I'm going to have to extrapolate to some extent.
Yeah.
I
mean, you would even with like the official way we write.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't have it. It is not present in the module. The information that I have, there's not like, I have the information necessary to make these extrapolations. I'm not making shit up.
yeah.
But there's no like
Yeah.
detailed description of the body itself.
Right. The only reason I bring that up is that if we want this to be like an example of play, which it is, regardless. But ordinarily, like if we were writing this module, it would, and also of course, the module is clearly working as is. But
yes,
if we were writing this module, it would definitely have like a full text description of the body that the game master would like read and or copy paste to the players. That would like mention her mouth is slightly open, and maybe mention the crud. She has these thin wrist cuts. The livor mortis is pooled in these areas of her body, and she has some marks on her palms and like stuff like that, because the rule is like characters automatically see clues if they're looking in that direction reasonably.
Yeah.
Rather than like me as a player having to ask and having to like guess that the clues would be in those spots and ask specifically for them, which is like the ideal way for a module to be written for the game to work.
Yeah.
Clearly it still worked. But I wanted that for the record for like anyone who is new to Eureka or watching this. Normally there would be like a full text description, very similar to how like the investigation of like Sally's apartment would have gone, with like Faeriedae reading like a description of things. Although I'm pretty sure she was extrapolating that pretty heavily as well.
There's more about the apartment. Anyway.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else for her to like specifically look for.
Sure. I did also tell you there was an incision under
Yeah, but that's like
under the sternum.
Right, that's true. I guess it is easy to assume that it's from the autopsy, but a medicine roll, I guess, could confirm that. With a partial success.
I mean, yeah, probably. Like, it looks professional.
Is there anything weird about it? Like,
no,
obviously
I mean, it's stitched back up. It's not clear, maybe with a partial success, why it's there.
I mean, the thing that Yvette could probably extrapolate is that it is possibly there because they inspected like the contents of her stomach or intestines or something like that.
Sure, like a partial success. It's consistent with an autopsy incision.
Yeah. Which, if she was in the police force and in charge of this investigation in an official capacity that had access to resources like autopsies directly, she would, upon seeing the crud around the mouth and stuff like that, she would definitely order the autopsy to like inspect, to like do toxicology for like chemicals in her blood and also like things in her stomach. So that seems reasonable. But like there's nothing else about it that I can think for her to like inspect or examine.
Yeah.
I hope I don't regret calling it here, but I think she's going to say, and by calling it here, I don't mean the session, I mean like Yvette's examination.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Yvette will say, with like a few more glances, she's probably like has her sunglasses like up on her forehead for maximum light. I am done.
All right. Right back this way. If you wait just one moment, he's going to re-zip the body and close back up the locker, and then escort Yvette back to the hospital hallway.
Okay. And I would say I want it on record, but it is on record. Yvette just fucking talked her way into a place.
She sure did. She sure did talk her way into a place, and it went smoothly enough.
Yeah. Well. Usually she has to break into places like this and dodge security cameras and pull the fire alarm or something like that.
Go figure.
Yeah.
She was able to just follow a process.
Yeah. Well, cheat a process. Exploit a process.
Yes, that's true. But she was able to get in with no bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
except verbal bullshit.
Yes, with bullshit, but no like turning.
No significant complications.
Yes, no remanifesting as mist to like billow through the door or windows or something. All right. There's a few. All right. So while Yvette is walking out of the, she thanks the doctor and the person working at the desk.
She gets an from the former and you're welcome from the latter.
Yes, and I rolled a like not actually mechanical wealth roll for her to know if you're supposed to tip these people or not. She thinks about it and then doesn't. Anyway, she walks down the hall.
The idea of her tipping like a hospital orderly, it's really fucking funny to me. Continue.
Alright, she walks back down the hall. She, gets on the elevator and takes it back down. Is she like scaring the shit out of one of these elevators? Actually, that's probably a kind of good question. Is there a mirror in the elevator?
No.
Okay. Being stuck in a small room like an elevator with a vampire is sometimes like, makes people uncomfortable even if they don't know it's a vampire. But it like often
I'm just gonna just because it doesn't matter, I'm just rolling, and on any doubles, yes. And yeah, there's on our way down there is a woman there who is looking especially nervous for some reason.
Yvette
pitched breath and the whole shebang.
Yvette stands in the center of the elevator looking at the door, very still.
This woman is like pressed up against the corner.
She's not mortally terrified. Like, well, how do you mean? How do you mean?
Like not like arms splayed. She's just standing there, kind of like,
Yeah.
But it's a short elevator ride and over quickly.
Oh, speaking of doubles, there were several times where the dice roll was a double 1 or double 6 during this, and the creeps rule for once per session. When a vampire's rolls on the dice result in
a double 1 or a double 6.
Yeah, a double 1 or a double 6.
Would have caused a composure roll for other investigators, but other investigators are not present.
Yeah, that was the question, is does this apply? I guess it doesn't apply. Yeah.
It doesn't apply.
Okay. But, alright, so she steps off the elevator, she goes back outside of the parking lot, goes back to her bike.
Yeah, I might put a disclaimer up top that, like, there may be small inconsistencies which are kind of unavoidable when you swap to a new narrator.
Yes.
But I'm trying my best to remain faithful to the facts of the module and characters as portrayed by Madeline.
Thank God we champion adventure modules so much and use them.
Right? Like, because how the hell would we ever do this without...
way. Yeah.
Without having a module to work from. Like, there's no shot.
Yeah. This is something I said in the
intro, yes.
In the little prologue that I recorded for this.
She would have thought it was funny that you said it that way.
Yeah. And she'd know I'm right, and she'd agree.
Yes. That's all true.
We should...
I'm putting the plate away, and give me a moment. I've got to make some rolls.
Okay.
I've rolled, like I said, I rolled the people, I just haven't rolled weapons.
Yeah.
Should we pull up a watch together and get your music going?
Yes. I sent you the songs that I think might be appropriate from the big music list.
When did you send that? I see.
2 days ago.
Okay.
And, like, you can be responsible for that. I will only make a complaint if it is, like, distracting me.
Yeah, this stuff is only for... This stuff won't show up on the recording, like you said.
Exactly. I have set it up on OBS so that only Discord is... Only my mic input and Discord output is being recorded by audio. Which is actually a fucking mod, by the way.
That's cool. That's wild that requires a mod for basic functionality, but...
It is. It's like a mod that you can get from, like, GitHub and shit. Allows you to, like, designate specific audio sources and, like, turn them up and down individually.
Okay.
And this is out of nowhere. But something I thought about regarding the mod that I will not get into, because it is completely meaningless and also, like, not material.
Yeah.
That I should probably make a Tumblr post or something about this, like in one of my little essays. It is really alright. A lot of fucking, like, Tumblr commies, ourselves included, talk about, like, how copyright law, especially, like, the particularly strict American copyright law, is typically, or is often significantly holding back, like, both artistic and technological progress.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, somebody will invent something, and because, like, there's a patent on it, or quite often because a company that is not the person who invented it has a patent or a copyright on it, like, nobody else can like, use it as a base level to then, like, build upon.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking video game controllers are still like this because Nintendo has That's one of the reasons why the Xbox, like the Xbox 360 controller's original D-pad was so fucking stupid, is because Nintendo has like a strict patent on like the best way to do D-pads.
Horrible.
And so every other company just has to fucking wing it and like reinvent the wheel. And the thing is, tabletop RPGs, even though they are of course still subject to copyright by default, do not actually have this problem because game mechanics themselves are not copyrightable. Only the explicit text which describes them is. So like, you can't copy paste the rules text explaining a 2d6 with 3 degrees of success, but you could write your own rules text that has that produces the exact same game mechanic. And they're like A, that's not like legally considered bad, and B, it's not socially considered bad either. Is the thing. No one cares. And like even the fucking because like there's a lot of fucking like people who think that copyright extends like even further than it actually does, but and like not even those people give a shit about that. But even despite this, somehow tabletop RPGs are still so fucking stagnant.
It is wild.
Nobody's like taking the work of other people and building upon it. And I mean nobody with an asterisk, because yes, people are doing this, but it's not like it's like so rare to see.
Well, that's I mean, all that tells us is just that that's for other reasons, because obviously copyright is not the only thing holding people back creatively, socially, or like legally. Yes,
like of course the thing I would say is that like everyone's a skinny fucking cook. Even we're skinny cooks relative to like the fat ass cooks in like video games, movies that are not that are like one tier above the lowest common denominator movies.
I'd say I'm a reasonably overweight chef.
You're like a healthy weight chef. Like, all right, no, I shouldn't comment on your weight as a chef.
Commenting on a lady's weight, I see.
But yeah, like fucking, like the average, like, and this is completely made up numbers, but just the ratio is the point I'm trying to make. Is like the fucking a fucking auteur director, movie director, has watched like hundreds and hundreds of movies, you know, and probably watched a lot of them multiple times, and like all that shit, right? And like has definitely like watched or listened to interviews with like directors, actors, writers, cinematographers, fucking boom mic operators, talk to people like on all stages of the fucking, I mean fucking like Quentin Tarantino is a big name, well-known director, and like fucking most of his movies, definitely all the ones that I've seen, are like fucking new creations built from the Lego bricks of other movies, like directly.
Oh yeah, well I mean, Quentin Tarantino is an interesting thing to reference because he's extremely, like, even for a director, is extremely prone to like just straight up referencing a movie as an entire scene.
Yeah. But
like yeah, I get what you're saying.
That makes it an easy example, a low effort example, even if it's not the best. But like compared to that, like how many, the average like auteur tabletop RPG, tabletop RPG designer is like has played like 5.
Sure.
You know, like
It is more difficult to
no, it is
play RPGs, but
it is.
Yeah.
And like I have played, and I have more respect for like auteur film directors than I do auteur.
There's no R in the first part of auteur.
Okay, I'm dyslexic.
Okay.
Auteur film directors.
Yeah.
I have more respect for auteur film directors. I'm using auteur film director as like a real term, and then auteur tabletop RPG designer as a fucking like joke term here.
Yeah.
Despite that being super fucking confusing for everyone listening, I'm sure.
By everyone listening, you mean the editor?
Well, yes. Actually, this might make it in.
Okay.
But like after fucking credit scene or something.
Sure. Well, I mean, as a real counterpoint, I would say that it's funny because like it should be more of an appropriate analytical term in tabletop
Yes.
RPGs, which often are authored by a single person,
Yes.
as opposed to the extremely collaborative and messy process of like movie production.
Yeah, but like the people who are like seem to have the most like, I'm gonna call this fucking mysticism. The most fucking mysticism about it, like,
Yeah.
are in the like range between like 3 and 6 under their belt, from my experience. Which I guess, like, now that I've said that out loud, like, it makes some sense. But
Sure.
that's like a super prolific part of the like tier 4 and tier 3, with tier 1 being like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, like the most absolutely popular and highest funded, and tier 2 being like Call of Cthulhu and like Delta Green and Pathfinder.
And what, tier 4 being shit you find on Itch.io at midnight?
We're in tier 4.
I see.
We're in like tier 3.5. We're more popular than like we're at the top of tier 4.
We're not Evil Hat, but we are known within
Yes,
the
Evil
indie
Hat,
space.
Forged in the Dark. That stuff is tier 3 in this like ranking I made up.
Okay.
And it really seems like the people who seem to have the most auteurish mysticism. I mean, it becomes mysticism because there are auteurs who haven't actually studied a lot of the medium.
Yeah. I mean, that's for a variety of reasons, right? Like,
Yes.
of course, some of it is just like baseline disrespect for the idea of consuming more
Yes.
art in this medium, which is a thing that which is probably part of the driving point you're coming to this with.
Yes, that's the point. Is that like a lot of the mysticism takes the place of like any hard game design being real, like principles. And the more like mysticism there is, or rather the more like it's the fact that the games they did play, they homebrewed the rules before they played the rules normal, and changed the rules on the fly, meaning that they were like improv grouping with some rules occasionally getting in the way that they like had to keep pushing aside.
I mean, it's the phenomenon. It's the phenomenon of attempting to create without consuming, a thing which which in any artistic medium other than this one is like just universal received wisdom, is either a bad idea or just, amateurish. Like, it will create unusual results.
Yeah, but the thing is
writing a book while being poorly read, or making a movie while knowing nothing about movies, is, general received wisdom is that's like not something you should do.
But like, it's weird because the term for that is the respectful term for that is outsider art.
Sure.
And but tabletop RPGs
well, we don't really get a whole lot of actual outsider art. We get art from a particular perspective.
Well, I think that the conclusion I'm coming to is that tabletop RPGs are made of like 60 to 70% outsider art by volume. Like, wherein the average is like, and that's probably an exaggerated number.
Yeah.
But wherein like the average like designer has only played like 1 or 2 games. And
well, that's what I'm trying to say. Really, is that like it's not meaningfully outsider art. The reason you get so much, like, yeah, you do get a lot of reinventing the wheel, which you certainly see in like in outsider art traditionally. Like, this is definitely a thing in like Shenmue, right? Famous example of outsider art. But like, there's a distinct phenomenon in indie TTRPG spaces where you see the same kind of approach to reinventing particular wheels over and over again. Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't think that it is, I mean, I guess you could say outsider art, but it's like all outsider art from a very specific perspective. Like, the term outsider art often comes with the like connotation that you have no basis to expect anything in particular from the creator because you don't know what their background is. They could be from anywhere and have any any perspective.
Yeah.
And that's not really the case here, because like, yeah, I think that there are, I mean, obviously, like with any medium, there are some pieces that literally are that kind of outsider art, but with a lot of indie RPG, the creator is, has a perspective that like I can guess over half of coming into the space, because it's always the same background.
Sure. There are at least 2 occasions, separate people, where I have talked to somebody who was wanting to make a tabletop RPG and had never played one.
Sure. I mean, that's almost like funny. Like, I almost want to see what they would make, even if it's not.
Actually,
even if it's like
do
not
see
good.
That.
Right. Like, because that would be interesting.
That would be fully true outsider art.
Yes.
And it would be more valuable.
I think it would have a low chance of being good, but I also think that it would have a high chance of being interesting.
Yes, and I think it would be, even on a quote-unquote technological level, I think it would be more valuable than somebody who's only played 1 to 2.
Probably, yes, especially since it's always the same 1 to 2.
Yes.
And it's always the same 5 to 6, for that matter.
Yeah.
We should get started. I'm gonna put this plate away.
All right.
And I'd like to like get ourselves rolling into things. I gotta get my head in the right space.
While you put that plate away, I will wrap up this discussion.
Okay.
Which is to say to anyone listening, like, to not put myself on too high a pedestal. Like, I think I'm a pretty scrawny cook myself. Like, and that's like the weird thing about it is, like, I value experiencing a lot of different tabletop RPGs in order to improve my ability to like make tabletop RPGs by like having more perspectives and having more seeing more of what is and isn't working for different games. being able to like fucking steal things if I think it would work in a game that I'm doing, and also like know that okay, this totally did not work in this game, so I'll avoid that if I'm making a similar game, etc. And like, I'm a person who values that a lot, and even I am like a little skinny, because like tabletop RPGs are like they kind of have a big time investment, even if everyone fucking knows what I'm about to say, but at the same time, like, I don't know, the best thing that I can brag about myself is that I'm fucking like trying, and I'm trying to get fatter as a cook. It also just occurred to me that if anyone doesn't know the fucking phrase that me and Ash are referencing, this is gonna sound completely fucking insane. There's a saying definitely in the South, but I am completely sure that this is a well-known phrase other places. I've just mostly heard it in person in Louisiana. But the phrase is never trust a skinny cook. With the implication being that if you go to like a restaurant and you see the cook and he's like super skinny, you might expect the meal to not be very good, or for him to not be very experienced. Then if you see a very heavy, fat cook in the kitchen, then that's a good sign, because the implication being that he eats a lot. He cooks a lot, he eats a lot, he is familiar with a lot of different foods, ingredients, and recipes, because he likes food enough to eat a bunch. And so if you know you have a chef who really likes food, you know he knows what he's doing. You have a skinny cook, in the metaphor. It's somebody who's not extremely experienced with food,